Grease under his fingernails was a badge of honor for Alan, a testament to his expertise as a mechanic. The rhythmic symphony of clinking wrenches and the purr of a satisfied engine were his lullabies. Love, well, that was an engine he wasn't tinkering with these days. Until Chloe, a vision with a mane of fiery red hair that seemed to defy gravity, walked into his carefully constructed world disguised as a grocery aisle. The introduction was anything but conventional. It began with a referral from a friend of a friend of a friend's brother, a tangled web that landed a questionable car in Alan's garage. The plot twist arrived when the damsel in distress wasn't the car, but Chloe, the ex-something, the something being a confusingly distant connection to a friend's friend, who knew more about his car's intricacies than he did in that flustered moment. Back then, Chloe was blonde, her hair a shade of wheat that mirrored the California sun. Her figure was lean, athletic in a way that spoke of long jogs and healthy eating. Alan found her attractive, a pleasant distraction in his grease-stained reality. But their interactions were brief, confined to the narrow explanations needed to fix a car, the polite exchanges devoid of lingering glances or suggestive smiles. 6 months blurred by in a haze of oil changes and brake pad replacements. Then, fate, or perhaps the strategic placement of mandarin oranges, brought them face to face at the grocery store. Alan, ever the smooth operator, or so he hoped, adopted a nonchalant demeanor, pushing his cart down the aisle with practiced disinterest. Chloe, however, wasn't playing by the same script. Her smile, as radiant as the candied apples by the checkout, shattered his facade. "Hey, Alan, fancy meeting you here," she said, her voice imbued with a hint of amusement. Her hair, once blonde, was now a striking auburn, cascading down her shoulders in fiery waves. Gone was the lean frame he remembered, replaced by a toned figure that exuded a newfound confidence. A collision course was set. Chloe, with the audacity of a woman who knew exactly what she wanted, bypassed the pleasantries and cut straight to the chase. Her solution to getting her car fixed faster was as unorthodox as their meet-cute, a collaborative effort. All she needed was a ride to his place to diagnose the problem. Alan, caught off guard by her audacity and intrigued by the glint of amusement in her eyes, stammered a surprised agreement. The ease with which she threw a wrench into his carefully constructed Saturday plans both terrified and exhilarated him. Saturday arrived, bringing with it a delicious nervous knot in Alan's stomach. He debated his next move. Should he ask her? The question hung heavy in the air, a silent plea for a chance at something more. But before he could voice it, the doorbell chimed, shattering the comfortable silence of his garage. Chloe stood there, a mischievous glint in her eyes, holding a stack of DVDs. Dukes of Hazzard for moral support and Tropic Thunder for laughs, she announced, a playful grin on her face. Relief washed over Alan, quickly replaced by a surge of something else entirely. Here she was unexpectedly, invading his space in the best way possible. The day unfolded in a whirlwind of activity. They talked cars, dissecting old Impalas and Thunderbirds with the fervor of classic car enthusiasts. Chloe popped in the DVDs, the soundtrack filling the garage with car chases and Robert Downey Jr.'s signature humor. Alan found himself completely captivated, not just by the project but by the woman beside him. He was having so much fun, the question of a date completely slipped his mind. As the afternoon wore on, Chloe declared a dinner break. Before Alan could protest, she had already ordered takeout. They devoured tacos as they finished replacing her fluids, Chloe's laughter filling the air as Alan fumbled over a particularly stubborn spark plug. By the time he finished the last brake pad, exhaustion settled in. He plopped down on the well-worn couch in his garage, muscles protesting. When he bolted awake, a jolt of panic coursed through him. 3:18 a.m. glared back from the worn clock on the wall. He'd fallen asleep on the job, but his panic was replaced by a wide grin as he saw a bright yellow sticky note stuck to his forehead. Scrawled across it in neat handwriting was a phone number and a question. Up for another grease monkey date? A giddy laugh escaped his lips. He scrambled to his feet, a newfound energy coursing through him. He had a date, except a slight weird feeling settled in his stomach. He'd never given her his address. With a slight laugh, he had no idea what Chloe was planning.